Right, so it's fair to say we know quite a lot about these new MacBooks. I've blabbered on about them for weeks, and today we have a substantial piece of info that could really suggest the release is near. Because yes, in a database, there is evidence of two unreleased Apple devices, which could be the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro, and usually when Apple files devices like this, that means the release is very, very close. And of course, it's pretty convenient. We find evidence of these devices a few days before WWDC. And so yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to see this in a few days. And we have some information on the battery capacities. So let's delve into all of this. But first, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. And with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so delving into this database, basically in case you don't know, Apple and their suppliers need to file products before their release, and usually we find unreleased Apple devices in these sorts of databases, and now we found the new MacBooks. So essentially, Macroom has found in a Chinese battery database that Apple's supplier Sunwoda Electronic filed two unreleased devices that obviously could be the 14-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro. And by the way, in case Sunwoda Electronics sounds a little familiar, it's because the iPhone 13 battery leak we got a few days ago was from the same database, so yeah, these guys are pretty legit. But anyways, the question some of you guys might have is, how do we know these are the new MacBooks? Well, for one, the model number is very Apple-like. It starts with an A with a bunch of numbers. That's something we always see, but more importantly, the battery capacities are pretty similar to the existing 13-inch and 16-inch MacBook Pro. So for example, the first filing had a battery capacity of 8,693. Now that's very similar to the 8,790 of today's 16-inch Intel MacBook Pro. Now before some of you guys start panicking, yes, I know the M1X apparently has a smaller battery than the current 16-inch MacBook Pro, but you do have to consider that A, the battery difference is very minor, but B, the efficiency of Apple Silicon could easily make up the difference in battery capacity, because obviously Apple had to cram the largest battery possible in the current 16-inch because of the inefficient Intel CPU and AMD GPU, and even then, battery life is only 11 hours, which is actually pretty bad compared to the smaller M1 models. And so even with this slightly smaller battery, this is still 2 times bigger than the MacBook Air's battery, and obviously we know the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro with M1 are absolutely incredible when it comes to battery life, and so even with less efficiency cores with the M1X, I'm pretty sure the 16-inch MacBook Pro could easily get 30 hours of battery life like some rumors have claimed. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to the battery improvements with the 16-inch MacBook Pro. Anyways, let's now shift our attention to the 14-inch MacBook Pro. And well, there's some good news because I was wrong. Apparently, Apple is making the batteries larger on the smaller model. So in case you haven't seen my previous videos, I was basically worried about the 14-inch because obviously with less efficiency cores than M1 and a pretty similar battery size, that would mean you would have worse battery life with the 14-inch over the 13-inch M1. At least I assumed that might be the case, but I guess not, because in these filings, the battery size for what we think could be the 14-inch is 6,068, whereas today's 13-inch has a battery capacity of 5,103. So yeah, that is a major upgrade over the 13-inch MacBook Pro, and I'm assuming the 14-inch will have 23 hours of battery life like the rumors have claimed. Anyways, thank you for watching, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the icon above about the iPhone 13 battery capacities, and on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps!